How you doing, everybody? In the Melody Maker, a different spot. That's what we'll do until we find one that we're comfortable with. It's our business, not yours. How you doing, Craigslist?
Good afternoon, Craigslist.
All right to it. First best of the week, I'll go. We have a Collins Waterloo WL-14 XRT going for about $3,000 out of Northbridge. Yeah, Northbridge, Mass. I don't know if that's our friend of the show, Kenny. It might be.
Looks that way.
It looks that way, but usually it would be a lot cheaper if it was Kenny. But I don't know how much that guitar lists for.
Ooh, that's an expensive guitar.
Collins are the guitars built by Bill Collins are usually pretty expensive because they're good, right?
Yeah, Collins Company. Now it's a bit different with. I think Mr. Collins no longer being with us, but
he died in 2017.
Yeah.
Thank you, Internet.
Those are lifer guitars for a lot of folks. With how expensive they are, I've never played one because there's not a whole lot of them around available for me to play. So.
Yeah, they have them at the Music Emporium, but I have a strict rule when I'm in the Music Emporium. I have to treat myself like a little baby. You know, hands in my pocket. I'll give the guy at the register my credit card right when I walk in.
Very nice.
Shout out to the Music Emporium.
Kind of starting off with a bang for $3,000 out of the Worcester area. We've got a 1975 Guild X175 Manhattan in natural. So specs wise, these are most comparable to like a Gibson ES175, which most people know a bit more about. But these are a spruce top, maple back and sides, dual humbucker jazz box. Earlier on with the X175s, they were 25.5-inch scale. As they get later, whereas this one is, they reduced that down to 24.75, like a Gibson scale length. But they're awesome guitars. I can't say enough good things about Guild archtops in my experience. And if you need, or if you're in the market for that type of guitar, don't sleep on Guild. They're not the most popular one out there, but they are just as good quality as anything else you're gonna find.
But vintage Guild, I've always seen wonderful. I'd rather buy a vintage Guild before I buy a vintage Gibson. This is a wonderful price for the money. It's an Epiphone Casino for $175 out of Leominster, Massachusetts. It's $175 because it has a broken neck, I think, but repaired, and you could get it repaired. It seemed to be, it was in playable and wonderful condition enough. $175 is a great price. If you're following the Epiphone Casino market, it is skyrocketing right now for whatever reason. They haven't gotten any better, but it goes by the 90s to like 2002. They were out of either Japan or Korea, and Japan ones were really, really nice, and the Korean ones are really, really nice. And then it switched over to, now they're in China, I think.
Yep.
I don't know what year it was. But the Korean are supposed to be wonderful. The Japanese are guaranteed wonderful, I bet. And the Chinese ones are fine. The reissues, they're fine. They play great. They have shitty pickups, but you swap the pickups out and you got a great hollow body. Hollow body Epiphones are wonderful.
Yeah, even if it had some repairs done as a result of damage from being dropped, right? As long as the repairs are good for that price, get it, yank all the electronics out of it.
Oh, have fun
pots,
with it.
New wiring harness, new pickups, and you are, who cares at that point, right?
Yeah. Well, I love casinos. I've been casino heavy lately.
We've got a Danelectro DM25 amplifier for $700 out of Worcester. There wasn't a whole lot of info on the ad about condition and whatnot, but from the picture that was listed, it looked to be in pretty good condition. These are that era of the Silvertone Danelectro amps where the head fits in the bottom of the cab.
Piggyback.
Super cool. This is advertised as like a 25 watt 112 setup. These particular ones are a little bit different, right? They're running EL84s, so people most often compare these to a Voxy sort of sound out of those, which is not really what people associate with those, Silvertone Danelectro kind of amps. So this one's kind of cool. The price, these are kind of all over the place, right? They fluctuate. Sometimes they're less than this, sometimes they're more than this. So, take that for what it's worth. If you're in the market for these, check out the reverb, because oftentimes the reverb doesn't work, and the way these amps are designed, it's nearly impossible to repair. So just know what you're getting into there. So
yeah, that happens.
But super cool amp. I think these are awesome.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. For me, out of Metro West, this is sort of a rare guitar. If you're familiar with the 12-fret slotted headstock Martin series, there was the 00015 SM, all mahogany, 12 frets, big old body, big old nut, great guitars. They also made that same guitar with a spruce top. You don't see it very often. Most of them that I've seen one in person, one on Craigslist. They've both been sunburst, which is beautiful. But it's a big-bodied, loud, bold guitar. Yeah, for $1,600, it's not so bad. Those are moving up. They're very, what's the word I'm looking for? Like, they're just all meat and no potatoes, or is it all? Yeah, it's all meat and no fixings. It's all the stuff you really need. Like, there's no binding on it. There's the fretboard's not bound. The inlays aren't classy. The headstock just says Martin, but it's all meat, no cabbage,
which is actually pretty awesome.
Which I prefer. I'm a meat guy, no cabbage. The niceties on things sometimes make me nervous.
Yeah, and sometimes think that stuff it's a distraction in some cases, in my opinion.
Totally.
It's cool for guitars to look cool, but guitars don't need to be super fancy and ornate to look cool, right?
Yeah.
Simple, awesome guitars can just look awesome the way they are. Yeah. Last best of the week. For $900 out of Providence, we've got a 2021 Fender American Performer Strat. So for $900, you've got a USA made Strat. It was these are discontinued, but it was the bottom of the line for the USA made stuff. But for $900, you've got a cool Strat that is fine like it is, or because it's not super expensive, is also a good platform if you want to upgrade pickups, do that kind of stuff.
You probably don't need to. I bet it's great.
Yeah, and this one just looks awesome. White body, rosewood board, big headstock, black pickguard with cream pickups and knobs and stuff like that. It just looks killer.
All right, well, that's it for best of the weeks. We do have one worst of the week.
Ovation?
No.
We got some comments about not commenting on Ovation enough.
Oh yeah, what'd they say? All right, worst of the week. Out of Webster, Massachusetts, some guy, I assume it's a guy, I guess that's sexist of me to assume it's a guy, is selling a lot of Playboy magazines from 1981 for $60. So this is vintage pornography on Craigslist. So cool, thanks, man.
We're in the month of March, so we're now 6 months away from the Makers and Merchants Guitar Showcase.
That's right.
That's
coming up soon.
We're gonna be ramping up the work going into that, just getting prepped for that. So that is coming again this year.
So for Sunday, March 12th,
Yep.
2023.
And we'll see you soon.
Somebody pay us.
There you go.